y'all, welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and dive in and see what Divine Holy Spirit has for the collective. The cards are all upright and in order by way of major arcana and through each element. I hope y'all are doing well. I wanted to invite you all for the spring cleaning tarot reading special. The reading is a 25-minute reading for $35. So it's a special discounted rate for us to be able to go in and identify that old baggage so you're not carrying that along with you into a new season. So please take advantage of that. The information will be in the detailed box below, but I love you all. Thank you so much for your continued support, for your likes, your shares, your comments, and subscriptions. Holy Spirit of the highest white light consciousness, what do you have for the collective? What does collective need to know and be made aware of at this time? I heard implement. So implement means to make something known. I'm hearing being stern about it. So that means there's no question about, you know, this stance or this implementation that's being taken or either recognized by someone else who may be on the receiving end of said implementation. All right, I heard rule book. So we have the Knight of Pentacles reverse revealing itself in the pre-shuffle. So tell me more about the rule book, Spirit. What is that? I heard garnered an expression. So perhaps there's a new rule book that's being written here for how it is that you are to be handled or situations that involve you and how that process should work or will work from here on out. Yeah, I like it. So a rewriting of, you know, what it used to be versus what it is now in regards to how people treat you or handle you, communicate with you. I'm hearing even when you walk into the room, how even they respond to you. Yeah, I like it. It was something about your presence, like some sort of regalness coming into the room. So everyone should bow, right? Yeah. Well, this is going to be written in the rules as to how people should respond to you. Now, it doesn't, of course, mean literally bow to you, but there is going to be some sort of resonance that's over you, like an aura or something that people are immediately going to realize. So I'm hearing now, don't let that shock you. So if people are staring at you a little bit extra, a little bit longer than what's needed to identify who you are, do not be worried about that. It's just because they're in awe of your presence, because there's something extra there that they are having to acknowledge. So maybe they're kind of frozen and stuck in time. So they could be going through some sort of energy to where they might even call it, oh my God, I was stuck for a moment, or yo, I just had a deja vu or something. But it's like your presence that triggered that for them. So, you know, don't worry about it, y'all. This is just part of the territory I'm hearing. So with all of that we just discussed, that means with the whole new rule book being written, that obviously is some sort of crossing over of energies, like you're on a whole new wavelength or platform or dimension even, but you know, still here in the physical, but things are different. So dang, thank you, Spirit, for that. We got it, y'all. We got it. All right, well, I'm hearing welcome to the new earth. All right. So I'm just seeing like babies, even like, you know, when they're kind of looking at you, staring, and they kind of smile as if, you know this child and they know you. But, you know, that's part of it. It's part of that whole being recognized. Yeah. I'm seeing somebody wearing sunglasses, so it might get to a point to where you might need to shield yourself. Maybe you're going to be that person who now has to walk around with sunglasses on, like even when the sun's not even out. It's only because you need to shield, you know, whatever that is, that exchange when it comes to the windows to the soul, the eyes. You might have to start wearing sunglasses. I've never heard that before. I don't even wear sunglasses like that, but it makes so much sense, you guys. But it's like a barrier at this point, because now we know that we're giving off something. Yeah, I'm saying we, because I'm a part of this as well. But we're giving off something. It's like you don't want those who get captivated or caught up in that regalness that you have. And yes, I'm being totally serious about this. You don't want them to be in the wrong energy to where they're triggered to say, let me try to get next to this person because I plan and intend to take advantage. Those are the ones, like the sunglasses represent some sort of hater blockers, right? But it's because you're keeping out those bad spirits and bad energies. So it's like now I'm even hearing a reference of somebody wearing gloves is because you don't, people who want to cover their hands because even sensitive to touch, like, they might touch something and pick up instant energy from that. And it's like you don't want to always constantly have to interact with spirit in that way, or you want to kind of reserve that for those who really need it and not for those who recognize it and then want to take advantage of it. So something about covering the hands and then covering the eyes, you guys. We got it. Thank you, Spirit. Look, it's a little bit of cards out here on the table, but we're going to go with this. And yeah. So the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Pentacles. That was all channeled energy, y'all. So we're getting into the cards right now. Spirit, tell me or tell us more about the Page of Pentacles, please. I heard misstep or watch your step or half step, something to that effect. What does that entail, Spirit, with the Page of Pentacles? So it's something about a halfway, like halfway doing something, or the energy kind of being a halfway sort of thing. I'm hearing trying to please. So, this is giving me that energy of somebody who, by way of you wearing sunglasses, is to protect yourself against this halfway energy that's coming from this Page of Pentacles. Because you know what? They're not that serious. They're not that serious with what it is that they might seek you out for, because now they know, that you're someone special. Like, you can't hide it. And there's something in them that's has you glowing in regards to how they perceive you. You're glowing now, like you can't hide. So this person here is wanting to see what they can get for nothing. So it's like somebody wanting to take advantage, which was mentioned in the channeling, but it's not coming across as, okay, you're some sort of trick pony. Like you're somebody who can roll over 3 times and stand up and beg. Like, this is not that type of thing, but you're going to run into individuals who want you to perform for them because they know who you are. They see it. And maybe they've caught some wind of something here. But with the Page of Pentacles, it's like they're not serious. They're not taking it serious. It's like this is somebody who you don't want to cast your pearls among swine, because it's like you're going to give them what it is that they need to know. Not that you want to, prove them on anything. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. It's already all over you. So they know, but it's the fact that they've been attracted to you. Now they want to come see what it's all about or what they can get from it. But it's like what I'm hearing is they don't understand the artistry of it. They're turning it into some sort of trick and pony, or pony and whatever you call that, a show. They want you to perform for them, but that's not what this is. When artistry was mentioned, that lets you know the people who get it, and the ones who don't. So that's the not casting your pearls among swine. You know what it was giving me too on the side? This is like the one you tell them exactly what it is that they need to know about the deadbeat boyfriend or girlfriend or something's not right. You see the red flags and you tell them, and it's like, they're like, oh yeah, it's like, are you going to be proactive with the information I'm giving you? Or is it just something that you're just going to kind of take and say that, she doesn't know what she's talking about, she's crazy? This is what this Page of Pentacles is giving me, you guys. So I understand more so now why we were told to wear the sunglasses, as to not make a connection with these types of people, because it's already what their perception is when they step to us, is that they want to see some sort of performance, and that's not what this is. And then 2, wearing the gloves as to keep yourself protected from the transmuting of energies to those who aren't going to properly benefit from it. But it's not because Holy Spirit isn't working through you to actually get to them. It's something on their end that they're looking at. Ooh, let me go over here and play with this person for a minute. Yeah. So be careful, you guys. Be careful. All right, that's the bottom of the deck energy, but let's see what else is out here, you guys. I'm going to turn these two cards over and see what's going on. So we have the Justice card reverse and then the Page of Cups reverse, but these two were on top of these two cards. So I'm going to go ahead and see what this is so we can get a full picture. We have the Eight of Wands and then we have the Eight of Cups. Seemingly in the reverse, like they're on their way to the reverse status, but let me just feel out the energy, you guys. Spirit, tell me more. I heard Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get the, like a little jingle? Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the words to that, but the Jeepers Creepers stood out. Where'd you get those eyes? Oh my God. Okay, that's tying back to the sunglasses. I told you they were playing games, like they make a little jingle about it, like, oh, there they are. Let me go see what I can go get. Let me see if they're going to do it today. Let me see. This person's playing games. Like, I'm hearing the word facetious. Like they're not taking the scenario serious. It's not that they don't take you serious. It's just the whole scenario. And when that word artistry came up, like this is not anything to play around with, but for some reason you're going to be attracting these energies. That Justice card reverse, I heard milestone. Milestone feels like something significant in regards to getting to a certain point or particular stage. This could be along one's journey, a milestone. Spirit, help me with that milestone energy with the Justice card reverse. What is that? Show me, please. I'm being shown a calendar. Is there a particular month or is it just... Okay. Okay. All right. So tied with the Justice card, and we're hearing milestones, calendar. So this could be even someone who has some sort of important event coming up or some sort of engagement with the courts. And then they want to come to you to hear you perform about something in regards to that court case. I heard train derailment just now. I feel like the train derailment has to do with something getting off track, but in a bad way. So this is making me feel like okay, well, that resonates with the having to put on your protective gear by way of the gloves or the sunglasses to not get caught up in their milestone or whatever this is, with the calendar being shown to me, like something's been ongoing with them. But it feels like the process that they've even been through and them wanting to come to you to perform for them for something connected to whatever's happening in this court case, I feel like it's going to basically bind you to whatever this is that they have going on with this energy. Because it's almost, okay, so I'm getting somebody who's like trapped in like some goo, or syrup was the reference, but it's like they're standing in quicksand, but it's syrup or goo or something, and they're trying to pull themselves up out of it, but it's like all of this stuff just hanging off of them. But collective, I feel like that's what the warning is here, is to be careful not to get caught up in people's entrapments by way of something serious, because they're coming to you, they want you to perform, but it's not, which nail color should I choose? Which hair color should I choose? No, this is serious milestone events to where they're looking for some sort of justice that they have not received yet. So it tells me with the calendar being shown that this is some serious stuff that's weighing on them, and they want to come to you, but they're still not serious about something. And I don't think it's about your gifts. I just think it's about I'm hearing the resonance or results or something along that line, you guys. I need to stay on this because I know this is something important that needs to get out to someone. These two cards were on top of these two. So let me jump into this, the Eight of Wands and then the Eight of Cups. Okay, well, that would be the getting caught in the goo and the sap and the quicksand. Like you'll be very quick to go down with this energy if you start to exchange your energy and your purpose with whatever this is. I would like to know more on whatever this is, quote unquote. What is that? Is that an actual court case? Or is it just somebody dealing with something for the last 20, 30, 40 years? And what it was giving was, if it's been like that with the calendar showing up and me hearing milestone, it's like it's coming up on a major, like a 25-year mark or 50-year mark, a milestone. So there's a lot of energy that's built up in whatever this is. And for you to come along without your protection on, then this person is going to say, ooh. And then you're here going to turn around and look at them unprotected like, what? Then they're going to slip a little question to you. But then I'm seeing you like you got your hands full, or even if your hands aren't full because you just went grocery shopping and here this person runs up on you and you got these bags in your hands, and it's like you just want to get to the car so you can go home and continue to mind your business. But because you didn't have your protection on by way of your sunglasses or, you know, your gloves, I don't know if you're actually going to walk around with gloves or not, but there's something sensitive happening here that needs to be protected by way of your hands needing to be covered and your eyes needing to be covered, as to not connect with these types. I'm hearing critical. So obviously these people, knowing that they are aware of your presence, because that's how we started out in the reading, they have some serious issues, some issues of weight they've been carrying around, and they really need help. But there was something about you, and you might know these people. I'm not saying these people are total strangers, but I was giving you the energy in the beginning that even babies are seeing this, you know. They're strangers, but people are noticing this aura, this glow, this light around you. So in summary, it feels like just people with some heavy baggage, but they're still not taking it serious, but they're reaching milestones at this point because they've not ever taken action in whatever this is, or maybe they just didn't think that it would carry on this long to where they be caught in a place or a situation or a circumstance that's like, oh, 20 years has gone by and I'm still stuck in this, whatever this is. But for you to come along all fresh-faced and glazed like a glazed donut, you know, so nice and so appealing and delicious looking to these people, it's like you don't want to get bit or caught up or bagged by these individuals with this heavy, I heard longevity, this heavy energy. So now I'm understanding more and more the protection measures outside of, you know, praying for protection, but actually wearing protection in regards to blocking off your spiritual sight from others. And then the touch, I guess that's clairsentience. Connecting with people. That could be people wanting to shake your hand, hug you, but having some sort of protection measure or barrier by way of gloves would probably is what's being recommended here, to connect with this energy. I mean, if you think about the times that we're in, we do have a lot of people getting surprises every day, left and right, of things that they're losing, things not working like they used to, like not being able traditionally to depend on institutions or ways of doing things, and just their overall course of life is just drastically and dramatically changing right before their eyes. We're talking about generations worth. So our parents, our grandparents, our children, even, they're growing up in it, but we're stuck in the middle somewhere like what is actually happening here? But, you know, we're not surprised for the most part. But at the same time, you have some people who are really stuck. I said this was years, like milestone energies of people have been dependent on certain cycles and things just going the way that they, you know, anticipated because it's always worked that way. But, you know, those things are changing overnight. So you're going to have a lot of people kind of waking up to, you know, negative bank accounts and things of that nature. Or, you know, they're looking at the person that they spent, you know, the last 30 years with, like, who is this stranger, you know? So now they see you coming along with that whole resonance of light and they want to come and just kind of be all up on you. And that might mean by physical touch. Let me shake your hand. Hi, my name is, but you know, you really should not be allowing people to touch on you like that. And you should not be exchanging unless you're fully aware of what you're entering into. So then beforehand, you already said your prayers and your safekeeping and protection measures so nothing transfers. But it's like, I feel the incense of now just strangers. I'm just seeing the grocery store energy, like you're just trying to shop. You got babies smiling at you and people just kind of stuck when they see you. So yeah, you guys, it might be time to go ahead and, you know, break down, treat yourself and get those designer sunglasses you've had your eye on and wear the hell out of them. Like for real, for real. Like do not take them off. Now the glove part is interesting because I'm not sure who's going to be walking around with gloves on in the summertime, but you might have to do what you have to do because I feel like this is some sort of, you know, energetic warning. I don't want to use the word warning, but I'm maybe just discernment or just being like discreet about your interactions from this point forward because of what has just happened here in regards to your, you know, there's some sort of ascension or upliftment or something just surrounding you that now strangers see it on you. They recognize it. You don't even have to say anything. It's there. All right, y'all, let me keep going over here. Let's see what this, it's not even a lot of cards, but yet so much information, but you know, I'm not surprised or shocked anyway. But what is this? We have the Strength card. Looks like it's seemingly in the reverse. Then below or whatever is underneath the Strength card, I want to choose my words wisely. Underneath, we have the Ace of Cups, the Six of Wands, the Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, and Chariot. Spirit, tell me more about this energy, please. I'm hearing introduction and allow me to reintroduce myself is what I heard. So this has to do with coming forward, like stepping back up, maybe having to have had to take a step back, but now stepping back up. I'm hearing regain your composure. So if you're going from a slouch to now your posture is erect and you're, you know, confident and sure-footed, then that would be the understanding here. So for me, these cards mean this is when, you know, a step had to be taken back in order to come back new or come for. Y'all, we were talking about spring and stuff in the beginning because I was telling y'all about taking advantage of my spring cleaning special. But here we are talking about stepping back in order to move forward. I heard something in regards to an ace. I know it's the Ace of Cups, but I just saw the word ace, A-C-E, which would mean first or the beginning or the front. I'm hearing leadership and lead the pack. Because there was like a reference of like a pack of animals, like a lion or even a wolf. Not, I mean, I guess, y'all, bear with me. There's comparison in that, but then there's also light and dark reference. That all of that was happening, and I couldn't generate the words, but the energy was there, almost about to bubble up out of me. So the whole taking a step back to as move forward, but now that you're moving forward, there's this light, this glow that's around you that people see. So that, you know, when we were talking about wearing the sunglasses, being that person to block off whatever this is. But I said with that Page of Pentacles, this is somebody who's like, hey, let me see what you can do, you know, like perform for them. So that was like a time waster, somebody who was like a swine that you don't want to cast your pearls upon, because they really don't want nothing. And whatever it is that you give them is valid, it's worthy, it's going to help them. But this person's still playing games with their journey. But they need help, yes. But it's like for a long time, they've not paid attention to their own red flags on their own journey. So now here you are coming along with this glow and this light, and they want to play games with you. This is why you're going to be wearing sunglasses from here on out, as to not connect with these types. Because I feel like, collective, that you know about this. You have some sort of feeling, and you might want to tell me a few stories about people like this who've come across your path. Whereas you have sat back and you put your stuff to the side in order to prioritize a certain individual or two or three in your life to try to assist them or just be compassionate, just play that role as someone who cares and is concerned for them. But what did they do? They faltered. They wasted the information. They didn't take it serious. Okay, insert sunglasses right there. And I have a feeling all of that's coming from here, because that step back was to allow you to be introduced to what that even was. No, it wasn't because they weren't a good friend, or no, it wasn't because they wanted to hurt your feelings. No, it's because they were hurt. It's because they were broken. It's because they needed healing. But guess what? So did you. You needed it too, but you don't play the same role that they play. I'm not telling them to walk around with sunglasses now because they're glowing and then people are going to be immediately attracted to them for assistance because it's recognized to others that you are able to help them. I'm not telling them this. I'm telling them to keep their hands to themselves and to mind their business and possibly, no, I wouldn't tell them that. I was going to say stay stuck in the mess you've been in, because you've been ignoring the messages from my friend over here for the longest, when they took time out of their day to be on the phone with you for 4 hours, and then you turned around and got back in the same bed with the bozo that they warned you about. Like that thing. I'm not telling them to wear sunglasses. This is for you. Because this was you taking that step back to have to experience that, to know, okay, so who's who in this scenario? And you found out, you worked on yourself, you got it together. Remember I mentioned the posture, it felt like somebody who was slouching, who went to an erect posture of confidence. That was that step forward. You're ready to go. I don't even need to look at those cards at this point. All right, thank you, Spirit, for that. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers out here, y'all. But are we going to identify each other with the sunglasses and the gloves on at the grocery store shopping, minding our business? Is that what this is now? Maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking, shoot, if they're gloves, like, should they just be like the little latex gloves they give you like at the gas station? The little plastic gloves you can just kind of discard after one use. The ones that tear when you're trying to put your hands in them. I don't know, you guys. They could be, maybe that's why the celebrities started wearing gloves. Maybe they were told by their spiritual advisor. I didn't mean to do that in quotes. I'm sorry, you guys. Though I know y'all are working hard with the celebrities. I know. I would be glad to do that as well if I was getting that paycheck. But I figured maybe that's why they started wearing gloves. Maybe perhaps they were told that they were exposing themselves energetically to people who were harming them. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Spirit, please clarify the cards on the table. Let the cards fall as they may. This was interesting, you guys, but hey, I'm with it. I had my eye on some Versace sunglasses a couple of years ago, and I'm not even like that, y'all, but these glasses were hot. But, you know, anyway. All right, y'all, we got courthouse at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like something's gone in someone's favor in some sort of regard. Spirit, tell me more. We were talking about that with the Justice card reverse. But how is this courthouse card to be tied into this energy? You know, the 2 and 3 is 5. That's change. But we were talking about taking a step back in order to take, you know, basically a leap forward, a huge leap forward. I just heard it went in your favor. So we're coming out of some sort of court proceedings here. So maybe that confidence boost, that posture lift that I mentioned, is knowing that whatever's gone your way in the spiritual courts is giving you this new glow, this aura that people immediately are able to recognize. Oh yeah, that's the one. So something's been granted in your favor in that regard, y'all. I'm side-eyeing the concern card. I don't know if I'm ready to touch on that, because the side eye is kind of giving an energy like, oh, you, like, what do you, I mean, yes, it's in my favor. I'm wanting to tell this person in the concern card, yes, it's an actual ruling in the spiritual realm that, yes, you see this golden aura around me. You see people bowing down to me, not literally, but, and not even because, you know, it's, I don't know. It's not a vanity thing, you guys. It really is that favor that people are able to see, right? We hear a lot of times, like, some people just have a lot of favor. Some people maybe call it luck. But all it is just energetic presence of something to help move you forward or move you along or put you in position to where it is that you're supposed to rightfully be. And you got people in the concern card not understanding why you and not them. Let me get a sip of water, y'all, because they don't like this. Hold on. Whew. Let's see what these are, y'all. All right, we have the journey, official person, despair, toilet labor. Let me put these to the side real quick, and I want to turn these over. We have high honor in the reverse, but we also have community and poverty. Now the community and poverty and high honor reverse have to do with what was going on in one person's life versus what was going on in another person's life, is how I see this. On the right hand side is the person who don't want nothing. They just want you to perform like some sort of circus animal, because they're really not going to take heed to the information you're giving them, because, you know, they're just not that person. They're coming up on a milestone of something. So that means they've been dealing with something for a long time, and they've been putting up with it. And they're going to keep and continue putting up with it, because there's nothing that you'll be able to say to them, obviously, that's going to make them shift or get out of this, or I heard shift their perspective, because it really starts with them. I mean, yeah, isn't that how that works? You could tell somebody till you're blue in the face, but it's not going to happen until they choose to see it in that manner and then start to, you know, be proactive. So it's like you've wasted a lot of time, but we kind of went over that already with the energy. So the poverty and community card, it's like everybody's, you know, just kind of, this is the person that they know something needs to change, but it's not going to change until they're willing to actually change. So a lot of people like yourself possibly crossing their path, and maybe people being examples of, you know, what this person wishes they could have had or could have been involved in or whatever, but they're not trying to make the necessary changes. But here you are in the grocery store trying to mind your business, and they're like, oh, hey, you remember the such and such? And I'm feeling like the sunglasses will kind of give them, you know, a nonverbal communication of, you don't want to be bothered. Is that what that is? Possibly. Mm-hmm. Because that's what it's feeling like. That they'll get the idea with the sunglasses. Because if they're energetically, if they're not able to connect with you without the sunglasses, that's one thing. But then them seeing the sunglasses will kind of stop them from maybe asking or approaching you a certain way. They'll just kind of see that you don't, and you don't really want to be bothered at that moment. So they'll kind of back off of what it is that they wanted to charge full force at you with. Yeah, they'll have some sort of understanding is what I'm getting, y'all. All right, y'all, I'm about out of energy, so I don't even know what this official person journey card to even break these down, toil and labor, because, I feel like we've gone over a lot with just a little bit of cards out here. But anyway, you guys, happy shopping for your sunglasses, and I hope this helps.